Hey, do you have the time? Oh, one sec, I have my phone here. Oh, it's time for another epoxy pour video! Whoa, just wait a minute, okay? Now before you run off, because I made another boring epoxy pour video of me swirling a bunch of chemicals around between wood like the millions of woodworkers on YouTube, let's talk a little bit about this ash wood that I'm using for the first time. Fraxinus americana, or better known as ash, is a deciduous tree here in North America and other countries. It's extremely strong, shock resistant, hence its use for baseball bats. The wood, being very dense, like me, is great for woodworking. So let's go ahead and make a coffee table out of its glorious strength. I'm using a couple of biscuits to keep the ash wood off the fence and then use this metal as a reference for a straight edge. Normally I'd plane these first before edging them, but they were already planed at the mill, though they are still a little rough, so we're going to go ahead and smooth that out now. Alternating wood grain patterns to ensure that it stays flat. Now I'm going to go ahead and biscuit join this. Always hit it with a double tap to ensure that it's fully cleared out. Now I'm just laying out some glue on the edge and going to throw some biscuits in before I get this clamped up. Normally what you want to do here is lay your clamps down first and put your boards on top. I made a mistake. So I had to pick this entire piece up to put the clamps on the other side to make them alternate, and that wasn't fun. I cut some pine down to 17 inches for the legs of the coffee table, and went ahead and glued and clamped it all up. And now I'm squaring up my joiner to square up my coffee table legs. Using 2x4s for the brackets of my coffee table. Wow, what a great shot with that big arm in the way. I ripped these 2x4s further down to about 1.5 inches for the bottom brackets and 2 inches for the top brackets. I'm just doing a dry fit to make sure everything's tight and fits good. After chiseling out some of the mortises a little more, everything fits great. So now I'm going to go ahead and use a mallet to glue and hammer these in place and then clamp together for a little while. This piece of plywood is going to be for our bottom shelf on the coffee table. Using my square to reference the inside of coffee table leg to cut notches out on the plywood. I'm adding these support brackets underneath that will actually touch the floor to prevent things from rolling underneath the coffee table. This is just a quick dry fit for the X's that will go on the ends of the coffee table. So I just laid this bracket across here, like so, and went ahead and made sure that the fit was good. And then after I checked to make sure the fit is good, I pressed down and then I drew my lines here on both sides, and I'm going to go ahead and route these out or chisel them out and make some half laps. All right, and because I'm so smart, I forgot to record the entire process of me routing out this whole river area. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you the sanding. The most fun part. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just exposing some holes and things like that that may need to be filled before I lay the epoxy in. Let's stir up some EcoPoxy Flowcast here, 2-to-1 ratio. Dropping in my pigments to add some color. Now this EcoPoxy takes a very long time to set. I mean a very long time. So if you're pouring this stuff, you might want to pour it first thing in the morning. I think it was something like 8 hours or more to start to get tacky. So that was one mistake I made because I wasn't able to keep all the swirls that I wanted inside the epoxy. But it's fine. So now I'm going to go ahead and sand this all down, make it look pretty, work my way through all the grits. Alright, so I managed to skip a lot of video somehow, lost some footage, I don't know. Anyways, I stained it, and then I sprayed the clear coat on, and now I'm using a 2000 grit to wet sand. And after the wet sand, I go ahead and apply a homemade wax mixture. Now for some behind the scenes footage. As always, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification. I'll see you next time.